when I'm in night duty, on-call night duty in RHC, when hypoglycemic seizure patient came. So we thought a glucometer is showing the error, but then it's not that. It's like the lowest not possible recordable value in glucometer. That we got it after 2 minutes when he throwed one more seizure. So then we acted very fast. I was asking sir, he told might be hypoglycemia, but we are not sure. But it's a kind of good incident only, where we, like the interns, managed it very nicely. Yeah, recovered. He went home happily. That's one thing which like I could remember from my entire internship. It's so good. Like that feeling when you treat the patient properly and send him off, go home, no, then it'll be good.
There was this guy in surgery. I don't remember his name. There were actually two patients. What struck me was the contrast between the two, because both of them were from similar backgrounds. They were both retired HMs of different schools. One patient was super rude, and I felt really bad while I was dressing him or taking his samples. On the other hand, the other retired guy, he was so sweet, and I had the time of my life talking to him. Every day I'd look forward to go talk to him. He used to tell me something. He used to ask me, "Did you have breakfast, doctor? How is your day going?" And that was very fantastic. But what happened was, after surgery, the second guy deteriorated and the first guy recovered. So that kind of struck me as very interesting, because the people that we want to help, we want them to recover. They might not be the ones that always make it through. So that struck me really well.
Peds, I don't know how to tell exactly one patient. Most of the patients I'll feel very bad, because that's when I realize it's just not the kid. You'll feel bad for the mother who is sacrificing her whole time. Her whole life will be inside the hospital near that bed. I had few patients, I don't exactly remember the names, but I still remember those mothers' face, because I felt very bad for those people who are actually ready to sacrifice their. I actually understood the value of that care so much when I went to Peds ward. They'll just sacrifice their life for their kids.
In OG, one patient was there. So during her entire delivery, like I was connecting this fluids and all. So she thought I was the one who took her delivery, and she asked me to name her kid, like asked me to name her kid. Then I told that I am not the one who did it. That was funny actually.
Yeah, my favorite patient Renu. You guys might have seen in my statuses also. That patient waited for 1 month for his surgery. The case of CA head of pancreas, he waited for 1 month for his surgery. All his friends, like co-patients surrounding him, came and went, and he used to sit in silence. Last he was like that guy, he used to sit in balcony, eat badam and still he did not get operated. Now we sent him back. Maybe he'll get operated soon. Let's all pray for Renu.
Wait, in this, Pikku, like, when I was there in Pikku, one kid was there. I think he was some 1-year-old kid, Dekishan. So he had some TOF or something. Then here only they operated and post-op, because the CTVS people don't keep these kids there now. All these pediatric kids will come to Pikku only for admission. So during that time he was there for, I had 4 days Pikku. All those 4 days he was there only. The last day he was stepped out, and I think he was discharged after that. So during that time I used to randomly go there and sit with him and all. I'll just anyway no work in Pikku, you have to sit there only. So I used to play with this kid. And after that, after 1 month I had a ENT posting. For ENT posting and I went, because this kid was tracheostomized and all. I think he came up for some follow-up shit only to ENT. And when I was in ENT OPD, this kid came with his mother, and he recognized me, man. He was 1.5 years only. I think even less. And he waved at me. I was like, hey. I mean, I didn't expect that. Now, then his mother also came there and started talking with me and all. Hey, doctor, you are here and all. And I was like, nice. So that was. I mean, I never expected that at all. Like, sometimes when you do things, you expect, like, maybe they'll remember you. But in case of kids and all, like, they won't also remember you. Then that kid remembered me. That was like, then I called my mom and I told her and all. So.
I keep in touch with all the patients, most of the patients in my ward, so I have a bonding with most of them.
I used to feel really happy when they get discharged after their treatment and all. Yeah, in ortho there was one girl who was like 13-year-old with, they were suspecting, no, I am not sure about the diagnosis. Anyway, some hip problem. I forgot the diagnosis. So when she came, yeah, it was like query SCFE, then query TB hip and all. But then all the investigations and everything was so stretched out, and she was kept for exams for this PGs also, so that she had to stay for like more than 1 month in ortho. Like that was pretty bad from their their side, because she used to tell that I am in this side of the ward, PMRC, I mean the post-op ward. Basically signal is very less, and she was in that side of the ward in which signal was like poor, zero. So she used to complain to me every day that I'm not able to attend my video classes. I really wanted to attend. I also want to be a doctor, but please discharge me soon so that I can attend classes and all. No, I just remembered this. That's it.
It was a patient named Subramani. He was posted in surgery. Actually, he was about to leave this hospital. He was not getting proper treatment on time. He was not about to, he was about to get operated, but his surgery was getting delayed due to this COVID. So I was the one who asked him to stay back here, and he was from Tirupati. So after 2 months of staying here, he got his surgery done. And the day when surgery was going on, his wife and his sister-in-law, they were outside the OT, and when I reached with an antibiotic pack, I was about to enter into the OT. Then his brother was there. His name was Ashok. He showed me to the ladies, and these ladies, they gave me that much respect, and he said that like he is the one because of whom the surgery is getting done, and we stayed here back. That's it.
One patient related incident. Yeah, there were many patients whom I encountered. One patient was particularly very annoying, and his attenders also very more annoying than him. I'll tell about that patient. He was in surgery, and his attenders really wanted him to die in the hospital. And whenever I wanted to take sampling for him, they were like, the patient was like, no, you don't take anything, you just leave me alone. And his attenders were like, no, we won't take him anywhere. So I was thinking about life, that how lonely are we in the future stages when nobody will take care of us, then children will leave us to die. Like, this was a very bad fate. I was thinking that how unfortunate was this guy. He was suffering a lot, and I could understand his pain, but we had to take samples. What we could have done. So yeah, this one patient I would never forget during surgery I encountered.
Okay, this was in RHC. It's very small, insignificant almost. But we were going to send off a patient of dizziness. Just like all dizziness comes in RHC, and I happened to see the pulse, and we found something we found an irregular pulse, and then we took an ECG. So that turned out to be something like a ventricular tachycardia. So those cases we referred to EMS like immediately. So yeah, that thing I can't forget that case. Otherwise, small, big, many cases are happening every day. Even yesterday one case happened. So this is something like it's an irritating thing for all interns taking vitals. So people tend to manipulate vitals. So I manipulated the vitals of that patient in the morning. In the evening I felt like, okay, let's check the vitals once, and it came out to be damn low. So that was a point, okay, that it is important. So that is
like most of the time, like my Tamil starts, so the patient will be scolding me, cursing me something. I won't understand, and I'll shumma take sample without minding what he's trying to say me.
ENT patient, he used to always abuse, he used to use abusive words, because I used to take RBS for him every day, 3 times in ENT.
Okay, my first posting was ortho, and when I was in ortho, there used to be a patient. His name was Chinnakanna. I still remember. We were really close, and that was my first posting, and I was too enthusiastic, and I used to be in ward all the time. So we were really close, and when he left, I felt happy, really happy. Yeah.
So there was this patient in OG who was to be transfused at 10 p.m. in the night. So if an intern is asked to come at 10 p.m. to transfuse a patient, even he or she, suddenly you get that stuff like that. But for the first 30 minutes or 45 minutes, I was there with the patient. 45 minutes tops. The next morning, the patient was operated, and this attender of a patient comes to me and he's like, "Sir, I'm a dentist. My wife was operated. No, there are these little things that matter, small things, hospitality and stuff." He told, it's these small things that actually make a difference. What I actually did was ask another attender of the patient to sit down on a chair beside the patient while she was being transfused. That's all I did. And that brought, that gave some sort of satisfaction to his attender. That felt good. Yeah.
It was my first week of surgery posting, and I didn't know how to take samples. So, I did, but not as well as we do right now. So I had like a set of patients in the ward, and all of them somehow had very difficult veins. So I'd go keep pricking patients, and one lady was like, "You get it in one prick or you don't do it for me." I pricked her, I didn't get it. Then she started saying, "You are useless and you can't do anything." Then I went to the next patient, and she said the same thing for me. And it so happened that, I don't know, I started crying, and I was like, I've come through so much to come to this, and then I passed so many exams, and now you're telling me that I can't take a sample. Yeah, it was kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, like from ortho, some patient's attender, she asked about me. Even after I left this posting, she came back for some checkup. She asked the resident, she asked my name, all those.
Yeah, like there are many, you see, during our internship, like people who are yesterday living in front of your bed, they are young. So I had many such incidents. So all such incidents have.
One thing that I've experienced lately was once you take it's so chaotic in labor room when the labor is going on, but once it gets done and the patient is out of labor with her baby, she just thanks you. That's one of the greatest memories that I had.